assembly here before sandblasting. I'm going to pull out the last fuel line that got left there. You can see it's sticking up, it's underneath the car. And the emergency brake, handbrake, whatever you want to call it, these are 1/2-inch bolts. They just go there, and then once that's done, I'll see what I need on this end. This nut on the e-brake cable is 11/16. It has to come all the way off so that the cable can fit through the bracket. So once that's out, like I say, 11/16 nut, then it can come through. E-brake cable just pulled right out. Those two are for the seat belts, by the way. And I got those carpet retainer screws there and there, both sides, one on the side there, one up there, and then there's a couple up on the floor. Oh, and yeah, there's one there on each side and one there on each side. Oh, and one there on each side. So I got quite a few of those. She's a warm one today. I got the sandblaster going. I had some sand in it. It was a black aluminum oxide, and it was pretty coarse. So when I tried to reuse it, because I didn't have very much in the blaster that I got, it wouldn't go through the screen. I got those 2 bags, 50 pounds each, for 12 bucks a bag. And basically the entire interior looked kind of like that, and now with the sandblaster it looks more like that. There's still some bits of that undercoat from hell that they use that I'm gonna have to take off, but not like it was. I mean, look over there. That had a coat of sandblasting with the old material, and this is what it did with the new. So I'm kind of liking this new material. I'll take a bunch of stuff off. That's the underside of the back of the dash and the underside of the cowl. As you can see where the holes are. This is the before. It's kind of what the backside looked like before I hit it. So obviously this is going to get replaced. This is going to get replaced. When I do this, I'll re-drill this hole. I'm thinking I have a new top piece. I didn't get the whole thing, I just got the top piece. I'll move this bracket over because it's not on the one I got. This bracket is for the brake line. Brake or clutch. It's for one of the lines, so keeps things nice and in place. One of the things I noticed when I did the teardown was these holes all along where the hood was flexing like crazy. So I'm going to actually end up pulling out both of these. I'll redo the metal around both brackets, and I'll probably reinforce it with an extra layer. That way, that'll be, because I'm not using a front tip kit. That's one of the things my brother asked me, because if you know the story, this was his car from ages and ages and ages ago. And he's always been kind of make it look stock. If you can make it go a little quicker, great, but try and make it look like it's stock. And I'm of the same school. So the 1275 is going to be painted the green, and it's going to look, I'm going to do everything I can to make it look like it's an original. I'm going to put, when I put the alternator in, it's going to be the generator with the old alternator, the old dynamo case and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, I'm going to keep the regular hood. It's not that bad. And if it is, you know, my brother's old, he'll die soon, I'll take it off then. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to work here. I don't think you need to see me sandblasting. It's pretty simple. I got this at auction for next to nothing. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep digging. Hood and gloves, by the way, very important. And a mask, because silicosis is nasty on your lungs. So yeah, back to work. And a little bit more done with the sandblaster. Having a moisture trap problem. My trap isn't catching at all, so some of the stuff you can see there is kind of clogging and dripping a bit, but for the most part she's coming off nice. Some of that undercoat is being stubborn. I'm going to hit that with the lacquer thinner and some steel wool, and I don't know, the same as I did before, I guess, on the back in the back of the car before I had my sandblaster. But by and large, it's looking pretty good. You can see where I got to there, and the primer's off, and you can see where the primer and the blue overspray is. I got the whole, in one day, I got the whole underside of the cowl on the dash, the side, one side of the transmission tunnel, one side of the rear, and start up the frame rail, and yeah, the whole center section there. You can see I got some repairs to do. Actually, not a full day because I didn't start until 1 in the afternoon, so in a few hours. And yeah, it's thirsty work. It's beer o'clock. So obviously I didn't show you all the sandblasting. First, it's really boring. Second, it would have damaged my camera lens. The other thing is it took a long time. I'm going to start with the heater tray here. I got this from Alan Fisher, who I get lots of parts from. It turned out that it was the wrong part. The hole in the heater core you can see is different from the hole in the shelf. That's fine. He took it back for me, and no problem there. I went on to order a new one from Ashley Hinton, and it works great. You'll see that later. The sandblasting process took me months because I was part of my rehab from my spinal injury. Here's a shot that was in process, so you can see the sand everywhere. I would sandblast for as long as I could, and it started out like 20-30 minutes, and it got longer and longer as the days went. And then I would re-vacuum up the sand and dump it through a screen, filter it, and reuse it. Here you can see some cracks that I found after the sandblasting that was covered by undercoat before. Both sides where the bonnet hinges were, it overstressed it simply overstressed the firewall. So yeah, that gets dealt with in a later video. Here you can see some of the rust and paint. The grinder didn't quite get it, so the sandblaster did. I had a lot of it was tedious. It's a long, tedious process, but it came out. Here you can see some of the other stuff that got blown out. This side is better. This is the passenger side, but you'll see the driver's side in that triangle there. That's structural. That is where that's suspension mounting. That's all kinds of forces go through that. We can't let that stand, so that gets dealt with. Again, later video. That is all going to be replaced with metal. But yeah, you can see the process itself took me a while. So I just thought I'd share some photos of it through the process. And thank you very much for watching. And as you'll see here, feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want to see.